Yeah, so I'm really excited about this matchup. I really do like both these strategies. I feel that Malice, definitely envisioning some of the themes as well, is very, very kind of exciting to see being piloted. And of course, Exodia being one of the original absolute colossus monsters being piloted in the brand new stars with the Millenniums. So it's going to be interesting to see who's won the dice roll and who's going to be going first. And it looks like Alex with Malice might be one of the first ones to be making the move here. Oh, it's just a single pass.
Wow.
Oh, that is some very, very rare occurrence in a Malice strategy. You should be able to see one of your starters, whether it be Dormouse, White Rabbit, or a route to it through the field spell. But it looks like we're just going to be going straight into the Millenniums.
Yeah, and the problem is this is one of those decks that can really close the duel easily. So, wow, brutal from Alex, but at least we are expecting him to building quite a few interruptions. But we had the Ankh art drawn as well.
Yeah, so that's a really good card to be hard drawing because that allows you to protect your own life points. You're no longer needing to pay that 2,000 life points for any of your Millennium monsters in the spell and trap zones. But being hit with a single Ash Blossom can be very, very damaging. This is still going to allow the Millennium Unk to hopefully activate and resolve. Oh, Dominus Impulse deals with that straight away. Ooh, okay, so this is going to be very, very interesting now. Where it kind of looked like a very quick, swift move to an OTK, it has kind of swung the pendulum back into Alex's favor now, being able to kind of halt Tom presenting his field, trying to work its way into the Exodia. It now all comes down to, will Alex be able to see a Malice starter off his top deck?
And quite interesting, following it up with 3 face-down spell and traps. Lots of solid top decks. Panoff, another pass. Wow.
So this is going to be the one big difference. Oh, it looks like there's 2 pieces of Exodia in Tom's hand as well. So there's not going to be a Millennium Unk to reveal, but you're still going to be able to pay 2,000 life points in order to grab you a card that will ultimately lead you to the Millennium Unk. The big difference is once your life points dip below 8,000, your Exodia will only be able to go as high as your life points. So you'll be looking along the lines of something about a 6,000 attack Exodia if we're able to get there. Not to mention there might be another Dominus Impulse or even an Ash Blossom in the hand that could really, really stunt this play. It looks like they're just correcting that the Millennium Unk, rather than being sent to the graveyard, goes back into the deck, even if it is negated with Dominus Impulse. So they're trying to rectify this one here. The Senganjin's effect again, this time paying 2,000 life points. See if there's any response from Alex, maybe an Ash Blossom, but no, that doesn't seem to be the case. So you're either going to be going for the Millennium Shield or probably what's going to be a little bit more effective to get you directly to the Millennium Unk without having to pay another 2,000 life points will be the Heart of the Blue Eyes. Second time we're seeing a Blue Eyes monster, I suppose, on the feature this weekend already.
And there it is, indeed.
So being able to discard the Heart of the Blue Eyes will now allow Tom to gain access to his Millennium Unk. You can kind of assume at this exact moment in time that maybe there isn't an Ash Blossom floating around, but you still need to be very, very cautious that maybe a second Dominus Impulse will stop that Millennium Unk being able to activate and resolve. It still won't stop the Senganjin being able to attack directly, which might be able to start to try and even out some of these life points disparities. No, and there comes a Fluoros. This is going to be very interesting to see because, of course, we're going to be able to present well over 8,000 attack by the time we do get the Exodia fusion onto the field. But then the question comes down to, Bestial Druid Swarm.
We cannot use Fuvalos though, right? Because of Impulse? Or
very, very true. Impulse is...
Wind as well.
Yes, it's wind, light, wind, and... Light, wind, and earth, I believe. So yes, Fluoros can't be activated. I think they're currently going to be looking at that now. Yeah. So luckily they're checking on it now before any card is drawn. So that means that doesn't need to change too much, but being able to get the Druid Swarm on the field can still be very, very effective here because it means that you've got to be careful about attacking that Druid Swarm and sending it to the graveyard. That would then be able to retaliate by possibly sending the Exodia monster as well. So trying to work its way here. Do you just pass here by being able to set one of the trap cards? But
it's tricky. I mean, we also have so many face downs, which makes me wonder what those could be. Because let me check the deck list real quick of what kind of cards he's using.
Yeah, after activating the Millennium Monk, there's not really more monsters that can be added to the field, but you are correct. If any of those is a way to make sure that Druid Swarm does not hit the graveyard, it could be a very big difference.
Yeah, he's playing the Obliterate Blades as well, which we don't see every day. Usually you just see the Exiled Fires of Rage as... So interesting, maybe. Let's see.
Yeah, I feel there's a couple of interesting choices along that spell and trap zone. But it does look like we're just moving straight to the end phase and grabbing the trap card, Exiled Fires of Rage. But you still need to make sure that Druid Swarm doesn't end up in the graveyard. Otherwise, unfortunately, that negation that the Exodia does have will be a little bit less effective. So Druid Swarm being shifted to attack here. Very interesting as to whether or not you want to run your Druid Swarm into the Exodia or whether you want to attack over the Senganjin. Senganjin will probably be the most effective use of that attack because you won't take as much life point damage and then you'll be able to trigger in order to send. But we are going to be responding with the Metal Tronus. Is there a Druid Swarm in the main deck? There is a Druid Swarm in the main deck. That is definitely one way to deal with it.
Interesting, yeah. Definitely not most usual, but it works right perfectly. And this, as you can see, Alex just reading the Unstoppable.
It's
enough. Wow.
Very, very interesting. I'm surprised the Metal Tronus wasn't used in the previous turn, but regardless of that, still been able to present the board. Yeah, so as we continue to shuffle this up, again, like you said, it's all going to be down to the experience and how many times the Alex has faced the Exodia matchup will then allow them to kind of dictate the type of changes that you want to make. You've got to be very, very careful in regards to cards like Dimension Shifter. In most matchups, it would nearly be a automatic turn skip. But in regards to the Exodia, they can kind of play it themselves if they wanted to, and that can really, really kind of show the difference between knowing a deck and not knowing a deck. Because like you said, it has the ability for going first or going second. And when you always have that threat of a one card leading to an incredibly powerful attack stat monster, you do kind of need to navigate around that as well as not being allowed the field to present itself in too much detail or depth.
Absolutely, but yeah, you can see Alex is smiling. He just hopes that he's going to draw a playable. No, that doesn't mean anything because we are playing Malice at least. No. Way. Oh, wow. I mean, I said that doesn't mean anything because you tend to set or bluff with your, Malice trap cards. But unfortunately, again, it's a brick from Alex.
Yeah, and it looks like Tom has opened up the Senganjin, which is one of the most ideal Millennium monsters you want to be seeing. Probably next to Heart of the Blue Eyes, because that one will let you get to Millennium Unk without paying those life points. And that's exactly what he's got there. So this is going to be... Ooh, very, very interesting.
We are met to the Nash Blossom, but I see a premium response in the form of the talent in the end. Let's see if Tom wants to go for it. Yes.
Very, very interesting. Now, at this point, do you want to be looking at the hand and you feel that you can control it from this point on? Oh, 100%. Wow.
I thought it could go for a draw, but instead, we are not even chaining this Lancia. So, I mean, makes sense. We are down to just... such a bad opener from Alex.
Yeah, not ideal at all.
I guess we could be expecting, an impulse maybe set? Or, something like...
Yeah, quite possibly. An impulse or an infinite impermanence. Getting rid of the Ash Blossom is quite an interesting choice there.
Isn't that the X deck? No, okay.
No, left-handed.
Okay, left-handed. Yeah, for a moment I was like, okay.
Ash Blossom in the extra deck.
Because also the stack for the extra deck looks quite big. And I was like, okay, interesting.
So we're going to be working our way through the Senganjin. This will unfortunately be costing Tom 2,000 life points, but I feel that's a very, very minimal price to pay in order to work their way into the Millennium Unk. Being able to activate the Millennium Unk will set up the ability of the Exiled Fires of Rage, if it all resolves, of course, and the ability of a non-target destruction. Damage-wise, you'd be looking at 8,750. So we know there isn't a Druid Swarm coming down to protect Alex this time. It's all going to come down to if that back row is a Dominus Impulse, which if it is, could be massively game-changing.
I mean, hopefully at least there is something going for him.
Okay, so it doesn't look like there's going to be the add of the Millennium Shield. We're going to be going for the Golem, which still provides a very decent amount of field presence. The benefit of this one is, again, you're going to be paying 2,000 life points, but you will be able to get hold of the Wedju Temple. In turn, being able to put any of your monsters in your hand into the Spell and Trap zone, and again, then get another Millennium Monster from the deck to the Spell and Trap zone, which if it is another Millennium Monster such as Shield, you would be able to pay another 2,000 life points to add it to the field or push it into the monster zone. Whether or not that's going to paying that additional 2,000 life points may not be as effective as you may wish.
And I just looked over another surprise that Tom is holding, which would actually completely shut down Alex, because even if he's not able to close the duel now, he has a trap card coming from his side deck.
I feel that there is something incredibly good in Tom's extra deck, and if that is the card in the hand that I believe it to be, if that is a Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, we could very easily see that being normal summoned and then used to complete a Synchro summon. There is a very important Synchro monster that I believe can be made with this field of a level 8 in the Senganjin and the level 3 of the Ghost Ogre, and with such a big disparity in life points, could be a massive swing in for game. So we've been able to work our way into the Millennium Monk. Here comes the normal summon of the Ghost Ogre. Are we going to be seeing... Well, that is the benefit of paying that additional 2,000 life points, is it means the disparity... Ooh,
Oh, okay. Not quite.
Not as... So we're going to be able to... Is that MTP07? So we're going to be attempting to add a Malice monster. Unfortunately, I feel it might be a turn too slow. I don't know if Alex sees the possible Synchro summon that could be coming his way right now.
Yeah.
But with such low life points, it could
get
very
punished. No pun intended. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom is eyeing that card up right now. I think that's exactly what we're going to be seeing here.
There it is. Been a while. But here comes the Psychic Hand Punisher.
Set one just for safe measures. Even with the Millennium Shield being 0 attack, being able to go into Psychic End Punisher will definitely get that life point swing, with Tom being down by 6,000 life points. So maybe a Nibiru could save Alex here.
But we know the end, unfortunately.
Oh, we do. You are very, very true.
And Frost. And that is it. What a quick match this one is. Gotta feel bad for